So what would cause Omar to behave as if he was drugged? He behaved as if he was drugged. Anyone in my position would have thought that if he can't walk and he can't move, then he paralyzed himself. He injured himself and paralyzed his neck or something. Anyone would have thought that. He was drugged. He was drugged like he slept all day. It's not like I was waking him up like I was gone for 4 hours. What the hell? Is the universe just trying to fuck with me? Fuck with me? Like, seriously. Convince me my dog is going to have to suffer all night, and then on his birthday, I'm going to have to take him to be put to sleep, and probably not with the vet I would want. As if she's busy, she can't do it, or she might not even be working. And then he was standing up a little bit and eating. I mean, he was like a rag doll. I don't understand. This is unreal. I didn't send this. I was going to. And then I just didn't. I don't understand. And people, including Joe, would probably say, well, you should be putting him to sleep anyway. I feel this is the most bizarre thing that I have ever experienced. And I've experienced a lot of bizarre things in life. This is fucking strange. He was like drugged. And no one gave him any drugs. It was like he was drugged. It was like he was drugged. He couldn't move. He couldn't stand. And you're telling me he was asleep and didn't want to wake up and his body just wanted to sleep? And that is bizarre as all hell. I was positive he was paralyzed. I feared he was like in excruciating pain or something. He was lying on his side and not moving. Of course I thought he was paralyzed or something. It was, I came home and, I mean, he didn't even stand up. He just flopped over. Telling me it's just he was asleep. Oh my God. For this alone, I deserve to not put my dog to sleep. I mean, seriously. This is just nuts. I feel like I ran a marathon. I can't even believe it. Oh, is that strange? He goes to the vet when she says, oh, you can wake him up to eat. Apparently, no, I can't. I figured I could wake him up when he's been sleeping all day and I was gone for 4 hours. All the bizarre fucking shit. Urgent, please show name of my vet. I am in a state of shock. The universe must have wanted me to let my baby go, even as I was busy clinging so hard to him. I was out dropping off a stool sample and picking up a urine kit. I came home to find Omar still alive but unable to move. My poor baby. Did he twist his neck? Did he eat too much? You told me to let him eat as much as he wanted to. I know he ate very slow, moistened pellets off the floor like you told me to do, and was working out great. I feel like he somehow broke his neck or back. He was in the small soft playpen I purchased for him when he was getting his paw caught on the bottom of his wire cage, and I read online that those wire cages were potentially very dangerous for dogs. I got rid of the wire cage in order to avoid a potential disaster with Omar. I put a nice rug on the bottom of his small soft playpen. He should have been safe in there. He's been safe in there for several weeks, and this happens to him now. He was still able to walk, including for very short walks with me. Even before he got too thin, he was sometimes having trouble with his hind legs. But I read that was common in elderly dogs. I've seen him fall to the ground and get right back up. I can't believe he seriously injured himself while I was gone for a few hours today. This is such irony. All caps. I was walking and happy that his blood work was fantastic. It was beautiful out today. I was happy to know I didn't have to lose my baby just yet, that I would have the opportunity to hopefully get him back to a healthy weight, and then I come home to this sad nightmare. Now I'm praying he dies in his sleep because I don't want to put him or me through the trauma of me putting him in his carrier to take him to either you or somebody else to put him to sleep while I cry uncontrollably like I've been doing for hours. I probably won't even be able to get a ride and will be forced to walk a mile to the bus while carrying to the vets my beloved to me dog I can't afford to save and should let go anyway because he's 16 years old, blind, senile, and has lived a really, really good life. P.S. Tomorrow is Omar's 16th birthday. Unless he dies in the next half hour, not likely, he's going to either die or be killed by you or another vet on his birthday. I was positive he'd broken something. He was like a limp rag doll. You couldn't stand him up. The way he was he was like a limp rag doll. That's why, and I certainly didn't think he was drugged. How could he be drugged? No one gave him anything. I don't even think I gave him hemp extract today. I've given him hemp extract on other days, and it didn't do this. The only thing he got that antibiotic injection yesterday. I don't think, on Monday, I don't think that would have done anything. God, this is strange. I'm so glad I didn't send this. Something stopped me from sending it. I was gonna send it. God, I prepared to have no choice but to put him to sleep. I prepared myself emotionally to have him gone. Went through all that grieving. And he's I can't say he's fine, because he's never fine, but this is just too weird. Wow. Miracle. That's just bizarre. Bizarre. There was not a doubt in my mind. There was no doubt. I'm bawling. Now I feel like I ran a marathon. I cannot believe that he's not like broken neck or back or something. He was not. He was like he was drugged. He was like a rag doll. I even told my mother. I said, Mama, if Omar doesn't die overnight, we have to put Omar got injured somehow while I was gone. He was gone, dropping off his poo-poo, getting in here, a kid. And then while I'm in here, I suddenly hear him moving around. Or I wasn't in there, I heard him moving around. I'm going, oh God. Doesn't he know if he's a dog, the animal should know if they're hurt, they can't try to move. Then I feared I was going to have to deal with that, where he's going to keep trying to move and not be able to, and that was just, waterworks came out again. Because that's awful. If I can't put him to sleep until morning, because I don't have a car and I can't do it, then please don't have him struggling to get up and not be able to. That's just going to make it worse. Just relax, baby. Oh my God, I cannot believe. He was fucking. Oh, I have to go back to the same old thing. Should I put him to sleep? I don't want to do it. I like. She didn't shut a light off all night. I don't even know if she's sleeping. I hope she goes to church this weekend and has her piano lesson. Said she was gonna. I feel like I've run a marathon. I can't take this. It's just weird. It's like you see you're positive someone's dead, and then you find out they're alive. In this instance, I was positive Omar had to be put to sleep, and I wouldn't have a choice. But if he was like that and he can't move, then obviously, you have to put him to sleep. You're telling me he was just asleep and couldn't wake up? Even that's bizarre. limp, like a rag doll. Like he was drugged. I knew he wasn't drugged, so I assumed he'd injured his neck, and that's, when you're still alive, like if you're paralyzed, and you can't move your body. I was fucking just beside myself. It was so awful. God, this is the most bizarre thing I've ever experienced. This is like Twilight Zone. Oma was a rag doll. Oma was a rag doll. Like, exactly like you'd be if you were drugged. Why did I have to go through that weird ass shit? I was shocked that he could have hurt himself. Never waking him up again. Let him wake up on his own or not. Because that is just weird. That is bizarre. I'm preparing to put him to sleep, and then I'm able to feed him. And he was standing up. But it was 5 hours after I came home. At midnight. Came home at 7. No, even when I don't wake him, he wakes up even because he can hear. He wakes up if I'm doing laundry or something. This is too weird. This is too weird. I'm never going to have an answer. Bizarre as all hell. Twilight Zone. On purpose did it so. Once he woke up, he was standing on his own. Not without difficulty, but he has difficulty anyway. That's common in older dogs, plus he's too skinny. He Needless to say, I'm not killing him, having him killed on his birthday. I deserve a break here, too. This is an ordeal for me. This is nuts. For my dog to behave like he's drugged, so you can't wake him up no matter what, even though he's slept for hours and hours. And then, so I'm thinking that he's injured. Why wouldn't I think that? It's just like my mouse. These are gerbils. It's like the gerbil that I accidentally killed him, but that gerbil, died quickly, but was on its side, where it's paralyzed, So of course I'm going to flash back to that. Omar was on his side. And even if he wasn't going to die, I would have to put him to sleep, obviously. Because no matter what was wrong with him, you fix it in a human, you don't fix it in a 16-year-old dog. Obviously, I don't have the money anyway. It's like a miracle. I'm positive the dog's gonna have to be put to sleep on his birthday, and then I end up feeding him out of my hand. He ate. I wasn't gonna risk putting him in the bathroom. I'm still scared for him. I'm in the twilight zone. This is twilight zone. This is the most bizarre thing that I could just... Not gonna tell my mom. Well, turned out Omar was just sleeping. Like a deep drugged sleep, even though no one gave him any drugs. I didn't even give him hemp bleed, I don't believe. Besides, I gave him hemp another day, and this didn't happen. I can't imagine an antibiotic injection would do that to him. So bizarre. It's like an alternate reality. That's what it's like, an alternate reality. I could still wake up and find him in the same condition or something. Like, this is an alternate reality where I was able to stand him up, which I couldn't do 5 hours beforehand, and he stood up on his wobbly old legs and he ate. But prior to that, I couldn't even, he would just topple over. I came home and I was going to take him out, and I was I'm drained. This is insanity. This is insanity. But needless to say, I'm not gonna have him unless he goes back to that condition for some odd reason, and I'm just being yanked by the universe, like, to drive me nuts, Drive me nuts. She didn't shut her light off tonight. She don't even know if she's sleeping. Miracle I got her to eat a little, but it's still not enough to eat. just in a state of shock. It was a state of shock. I come home, like, how did Omar injure himself in that nice soft carrier, you know? I've seen him flip upside down and not injure himself. Because animals are like that, they can do that. I've seen him fall down and twist around and be fine. Like, how did he, well, apparently he didn't. Apparently he was drugged. And that's fucking bizarre. It is so bizarre that I now feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone. I feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone. Like, seriously. There's no logical explanation for what happened that I can think of. It's not a miracle. I'm sure he's not, doesn't have you know, I'm sure he's not injured. He was drugged. Like nothing he would have drugged him. He's just eating his regular old dog food. That's it. Nothing would have drugged him. He didn't have extra stuff today. He just had his dog food. Oh. I was happy. He was eating off the bathroom floor. I left at 3. Got up at 20:12. We went outside. He went potty. I took him for a little walk, tiny, just around the yard, a little bit. I left. I come back to that. Positive that he's paralyzed or something. Positive that he can't move and that I'll have to put him to sleep. Positive. Positive. That is so weird. Fucking Twilight Zone. Seriously, I'm in the Twilight Zone. That's how I feel. I feel like I ran a marathon. I was crying uncontrollably, just like crying and then he wakes up, and then he's trying to get up. What are you trying to get up for? I thought you were dying. 5 hours later.